What happens if a single, desperate attempt for freedom changes everything we thought we knew about life and death in Port Charles? What if this moment becomes the beginning of something much bigger? Something that rewrites the history of an entire family from the ground up? Guys, I don't think we're paying attention to what comes next. We are all so intensely focused on the immediate day-to-day drama of a teenager trying to escape her father's grasp. But the real story is hiding in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Imagine a scenario where a failed legal maneuver doesn't just result in a slammed door and a tearful breakdown, but instead opens a gateway to a ghost. The future of this storyline isn't about a judge's ruling or a custody battle in a courtroom. It is about a voice on the other end of a phone line that will completely shatter reality as these characters know it. We are looking at a massive paradigm shift that will turn the entire town upside down, proving once and for all that the past is never truly dead. Let us look at the current board very quickly. Scout is entirely trapped in a nightmare of her own making. Her plans for legal emancipation are destined to fail from the very start because the law strictly requires a legal guardian to sign off on her major life decision. Alexis Davis, her grandmother and one of the most brilliant legal minds in the city, is completely sidelined because Drew Kane has established ironclad legal restrictions that prevent Alexis from simply swooping in and taking custody. Scout is stuck in a corner with zero options, suffocating under Drew's increasing control. Meanwhile, we have this mysterious new executive, Hudson, arriving in town, taking over the massive corporate reins for Jasper Jax, who famously vanished without a trace on a sailboat. Jax handed his company to Hudson, and Jocelyn Jax is being aggressively pushed to take the CEO seat. These are the pieces currently in play, but they are merely the starting point for a massive earth-shattering explosion. So let us explore the first future. This could lead to the monumental revelation that Sam McCall never actually died. Think about the logistics of this for a second. Hudson is not just in Port Charles for standard corporate restructuring. He is the eyes and ears for Jax on the ground. If Hudson learns that Scout is trapped, desperate, and suffering under Drew's tyrannical control, he immediately reports back to his boss. And what if Jax has been secretly caring for Sam this entire time? The story could be heading toward a breathtaking moment where Scout receives an untraceable, encrypted phone call, and through the static, she hears her mother's voice. Sam is alive. If that happens, who benefits? Scout and Danny get their mother back, and their shattered world is finally healed. Who is in danger? Drew Kane, because his entire facade of control is about to be ripped away by a woman who refuses to let her daughter suffer. In this future, Sam doesn't just call to say hello and offer comfort. She calls to orchestrate a highly classified, incredibly dangerous extraction. She needs to get Scout out of Port Charles secretly and immediately. And the only person she can trust to execute this flawlessly is Danny Morgan. Danny transitions from a troubled teen dealing with WSB fallout into the ultimate secret agent for his resurrected mother. He becomes the key to smuggling his sister out of town, navigating the dangerous waters of Port Charles without alerting Drew's security. The bigger consequence may be that Danny has to lie directly to Jason Morgan's face, carrying the heaviest secret of his life while trying to reunite his fractured family in a hidden, off-the-grid location. Now, let us pivot to a second future, one that completely alters the emotional landscape of the show. What if Jax and Sam are not just co-conspirators in her survival, but they have actually crossed the line from friendship into a deep, hidden romance? This isn't just a minor variation. This changes the entire dynamic of the board. In this scenario, Jax's disappearance on that sailboat wasn't a tragic accident or a midlife crisis. It was a calculated, brilliant move to disappear with the woman he deeply loved. Jax willingly gave up his corporate empire, handing the keys to Hudson, specifically so he could dedicate his entire life to protecting and loving Sam in secret. Hudson's aggressive push to make Jocelyn the CEO isn't about corporate synergy or legacy. It is about completely severing Jax's remaining ties to the business world so he can live off the grid with Sam permanently. If this path unfolds, the corporate drama at Deception and Jax's company is nothing but a brilliant smokescreen. Jax, the eternal white knight who always tried to save women from the mob life, finally found his ultimate partner in Sam. They are building a peaceful life together, far away from the mob violence and the corporate backstabbing of Port Charles. But Scout's desperate situation forces them to risk their perfect hidden paradise. They have to intervene, risking their secret romance being exposed to the world just to save Sam's daughter from Drew's madness. But there is a third future, and this is the most unexpected possibility of them all. What if the extraction plan fails before it even begins? What happens next may be a full-blown catastrophic war. Imagine if Drew, who is slowly regaining his mobility and becoming increasingly paranoid and controlling due to his trauma, intercepts that phone call. Drew discovers that Sam is alive and that Jax is hiding. Instead of letting Scout go, Drew uses this incredibly dangerous information to set a devastating, lethal trap. He knows that if he holds Scout hostage, Sam and Jax will be forced to come out of hiding and step right into his crosshairs. This future turns Drew into an absolute supervillain. He wouldn't tell anyone that Sam is alive. He would use it as the ultimate leverage to maintain his power and punish those who deceive. Hudson gets caught in the crossfire, potentially losing his life as Drew ruthlessly eliminates anyone who knows the truth. Danny is caught in an impossible situation, forced to choose between the father of his half-sister, his own father Jason, and the mother he thought was dead. It would be a psychological thriller, a high-stakes game of chess where Scout is the ultimate pawn, and Sam has to walk into a deadly trap to save her child from a man she once loved. If you ask me, looking at all these pieces on the board, the path that feels most likely is the secret rescue mission spearheaded by Danny Morgan. I keep coming back to the idea that Danny needs a massive, redeeming storyline that pushes him into adult. He has been carrying the immense weight of Jason taking the fall for Rocco, shooting Ross Cullum, and he is desperate to fix his family. Having Danny become the secret savior, the one who orchestrates Scout's escape to reunite with Sam, just makes perfect narrative sense. It honors the rich history of these characters. Sam was always a rogue, an adventurer, a private investigator who loved the thrill, and seeing her pass that torch to Danny to pull off the ultimate heist, stealing his sister back from Drew, is incredibly poetic. Furthermore, Hudson's presence in Port Charles is too perfectly timed to be a coincidence. He is the ideal middleman, the corporate suit who handles the logistics while Jax and Sam remain safely in the shadows. It allows the show to build immense suspense without immediately having to bring the actors back. The encrypted phone calls, the secret messages passed through Hudson, the close calls with Drew's security. It is an absolute goldmine for future storytelling that will keep us on the edge of our seats for months. But we cannot stop there, because if this scenario plays out, the shockwaves will be felt for years to come. If Sam is alive, and if Danny successfully smuggles Scout out of Port Charles to join her and Jax, what happens when the truth inevitably comes out? The story could be heading toward the mother of all confrontations when Jason Morgan discovers that Jax has been hiding the mother of his child. Jason just left the mob to prioritize Danny and live a quieter life. If he finds out that Jax and Sam orchestrated this massive deception and forced his son Danny to carry that agonizing burden, Jason's reaction will be nuclear. There is a chance that Jason will tear the world apart to find them, reigniting a bitter feud with Jax that goes back decades. And what about Jocelyn? How will she react when she learns her father faked his disappearance and used her as a corporate pawn just to run away with Sam McCall? The betrayal she will feel toward Jax will permanently damage their relationship, leaving her isolated. Looking ahead, this isn't just about Scout getting away from Drew. It is about the fundamental destruction and reconstruction of the Morgan, Jax, and Quartermain family. The fallout will redefine alliances, ignite new wars, and prove that in Port Charles, the dead never truly stay buried, and the future is always far more dangerous than the past.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.